Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to use the Alpha Beta Neurofeedback app that I made. I have my smartphone connected here to show you the screen, and you need to get a separate app called the Mind Monitor app, and that is on the Google Play Store and the App Store. I'm going to just launch that and then turn on my Muse Headband, and it should automatically pair if the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are on. Alright, so now it's getting data from my headband and it's going to my iPhone. I want to show you settings that need to be configured for this app to work on your computer. So right here, the stream port, you can click that and you can change that to whatever you want. This number needs to match the one on the app that I'll show you in a second. But I set mine to 8,000 and the app default is set to 8,000. So that is worth mentioning. The next thing, you can launch the app, and the first time you launch it, it takes a bit longer, but it's quicker after that. And you can see the OSC port number is set to 8,000 right here. And next, what you do is you go over to your smartphone and click the stream button. And so now this is sending data from my iPhone through the internet to the app. So they need to be on the same Wi-Fi settings. Alright, so I'm just briefly going to show you and talk about the settings on this right panel. It's pretty simple. First I'm going to show you the audio settings. And this needs to be set to whatever sound card you're using. If it's the built-in, you can just hit built-in. It doesn't use the microphone, so that should be set to none. And once you select something new, just hit the power button to re-enable and refresh that. Alright, so I'm using the Telestream audio capture, so I selected that one. The next I already talked about is the OSC port number. That should be set to the same number on your smartphone. And these three are audio related. So let's go through the audio echo on off. And so this adds a little delay or echo every time you hear a noise that's just triggered from the headband. It adds a bit of an echo to it to make it a bit more pleasing to the ear, and it smooths things out. I'll show you in a second when I get these going, when I get these other tabs going. But the head nod, the next one, is the head nod equals noise. So I noticed when I was testing this out, I would get in some really relaxed states and my posture might go down and I would like start to doze off. So this keeps it so your head has to be leveled, and if it's not leveled, you'll start to hear some white noise. The more that your head is tilted down, the louder the noise gets. So I'm just going to demonstrate that for you. So this is the on-off. And so now I'm going to tilt my head down and back up. And this is just the volume for that. And the weak signal equals beep is kind of handy because it gives you an indicator beep if the head signal is not fitted properly. So that way you don't have to worry about it not being connected. It will tell you. So I'm just going to demonstrate that. And this is the volume also. So now I'm going to wiggle this thing around on my head. And now it's back on securely. And I'm just going to turn that off. Now these things down here, they're ratios for the different bands. So this is left and right, delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. Gamma is usually pretty small in general. This is left-right ratio, and this is front and back ratio. Yeah, so delta through gamma. And this slider right here is a sensitivity slider. so you can broaden your range. Sometimes the alpha can get really big, so you can see a broader range of it. And moving on to this left square over here, the scroll graph is pretty self-explanatory. It just shows you a scroll graph of the averages of the different bands. So out of all 4 sensors on this thing, on the headband, it gives you an average for delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. And you can set the min-max for the entire graph right here. So let's say you want to do 5, it will get smaller. This is the minimum and that's the maximum. Usually 0 is the minimum and 2 as the maximum is pretty good to start with. Now I'm going to just describe these 3 tabs. So these 3 tabs are similar in their layouts, but they have different functions. So I'll just start with alpha peaks. So what this tab does is it will give you a sound if all 4 quadrants of the Muse headset are peaking in alpha. Once it's peaking in alpha, the higher it gets from there is indicated by the pitch. With the download, it will give you some demo sounds, or you can use your own, but they're essentially just sustained notes, sustained flute note for maybe 10 minutes or so. And I'll click the flute, and it will automatically start playing and it will be looped, so you don't have to worry about that. This is a bit more technical. You can actually change the scale of what the sound will be playing. So by default, they're all set to C pentatonic, but if you want to change that, if you want to change it to different, if you want to match an audio track or something like that, you can do that. This is an XY graph showing the inputs and outputs, and it will change through the different scales. So for 90% of people, major pentatonic will be fine. These next 2 boxes are a little more advanced. It basically gives you a low and high ratio. What this app considers low will be right here, and what this app considers high will be right here. So this will give you an ability to change what your baseline is. And now you can experience a fuller range of frequencies when listening to this. But for most people, the default will be fine. This is kind of like a little indicator of where the pitch is, what you're hearing. And this is a volume slider with level indication. So now I'm just going to briefly show you what it sounds like with the alpha peaks on. And one more time with the audio echo on off. Okay. And once you really practice this, you can make the pitch go up really high. So that's why these can be adjusted to essentially turn your baseline pitch down to further increase your alpha. Okay, so that's all it for the alpha peaks. The beta troughs is basically the same thing but inverted with beta. So essentially most people want to increase alpha and decrease beta, and so this will help you decrease your beta. So let's choose a sound like last time. Choose the strings. And for most people, well, I've found at least that the beta is the easiest tab to master, and then it's alpha, and then it's high alpha, low beta. Alright, so essentially what this is it looks at all 4 sensors, and if the beta, not including gamma, if beta is the lowest in all 4 sensors, then that will trigger the sound. And the higher, or excuse me, the lower the beta, the higher the pitch you'll hear it. So in general, this app, the higher the pitch, the better you're doing. And again, you have different scales to choose from, and the baseline, min, and maximum. So I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of the beta troughs. You can see right here how the beta is low. And one more time with the audio echo on off. Okay, so now this final tab is the high alpha and low beta. So this basically combines both of these. So when all four quadrants of the brain are peaking in alpha and the four quadrants of the brain are the lowest in beta, that will trigger the sound. And the higher the pitch indicates the larger differences between the high alpha and low beta. So this is probably the hardest one to master, but I'm going to demonstrate it for you, or give it a shot. You can choose the horn with the audio echo on off. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so that is all there is to this app. I think it's really handy for anyone that wants to increase the alpha progressively, and it can get more sensitive by using these two sliders. And it will show you different graphs, scrolls, and it can show you different ratios as well. I hope this is helpful, and thank you for watching.